Coming soon to Who Needs Normal. And now, our feature presentation. The world of internet entertainment has taken many different forms over the years. When it comes to the video sharing side of things, the earliest of these I can remember consuming were slideshows of Icon Has Cheeseburger memes and Fred Figglehorn videos. I don't think the world fully comprehended this new medium we called YouTube at that time, so the content we posted and consumed was much simpler. As time progressed, we began to see comedy sketches, let's plays, animation in all sorts of forms, and to this day, we continue to see video trends come and go. In recent years, I've noticed the emergence and evolution of ARGs, horror, and found footage, along with their many subgenres. There are countless series like these on the internet, and just as many, if not more videos that attempt to make sense of their many mysteries. Today I thought I would take a look at one such series that I've been watching recently, and still remains mostly undiscovered on YouTuber quote-unquote Plaidley's channel. This ultimate enigma of a series has yet to be given an official title by its illustrious creator, so I have decided to name it myself. Sit back, relax, and get ready to dive into the most terrifying journey you will likely ever take. This is the Funny Cat Chronicles. To fully understand the situation that has been presented to us in this overarching story, we must first go back to where it all began. Famed YouTuber Plaidley, yes it's a real name, don't look it up, Rose, began his video making career in April of the year 2020, right around the time that the COVID-19 pandemic had first emerged. On the 18th of the month, he uploaded his first masterpiece, a commentary on megachurch leader Kenny C, or Kenneth Copeland. Garnering a whopping 74 views, this creation springboarded him into internet stardom, and he continued creating more commentary videos, such as Top 10 Epicest Avengers Endgame Moments, as well as diving into the world of video game reviews and journalism with his highly praised creations, The Weirdly Political Angel Quiz, Toon Car The Okayish Race, and who could forget Minecraft IRL (in real life) challenge ? He even delved into the world of speedrunning, with everybody's favorite PC title, Noah's Adventures, and later tried his hand at the arguably more popular sequel, Zoo Race. And with that upload of his Zoo Race Let's Play, Chapter 1 of the Plaidley channel came to a close. With Chapter 2, he would try new things, such as a Minecraft hardcore failure, playing epic funny Eminem's math game, and creating his first ARG attempt, a bizarre Super Mario 64 series that ended with him rickrolling his entire fanbase. All of these new projects were quite controversial, with one fan saying, quote, "Curse you Plaidley," unquote, in his comments. and another saying something he would never forget, quote, "How dare you," unquote. Fearing he may never recover the goodwill he had worked hard to garner from his fans, he decided to attempt to bring in new viewers with a Fortnite collaboration with fellow YouTubers Mr. Jephthah and Who Needs Normal, which ultimately was a major success, raking in 1,400 views. In a bid to keep this newfound momentum going, he made a Star Wars tier list video that was bad and wrong, a Let's Play of Peppa Pig Murder Simulator, and finally, his magnum opus, his Paw Patrol movie trailer reaction that was 100% serious in every way, and definitely wasn't a joke that managed to get 15,000 views. Plaidley was riding high. He churned out more epic Fortnite Let's Plays, more reactions, and most importantly, more Paw Patrol content. But by the time Christmas 2021 rolled around, something had changed. Fans just started to feel like Plaidley wasn't the same anymore. He wasn't as good as when they were kids. And so, with one last Let's Play of the B-movie game for Windows PC, Plaidley took a hiatus. And that, my friends, is where this story truly begins. January 5th, 2022. Plaidley uploads the announcement of his hiatus, titled simply, "Goodbye, ... following the clickbaity trend that many other YouTubers had also used around that time.
Guys, this is the hardest video I've ever had to make. So, I'm gonna get to the chase. For the 5 people, or maybe 2 people, or whoever cares, gonna be taking a break from the channel for a bit. I'm guessing it'll be maybe around a month. I'm hoping to come back maybe mid-February at this point. This year has had its ups and downs, but overall I think it's been a pretty great year for me. Not just with the YouTube channel, obviously. This is only a small portion of what has been great about this year. I got married. I have a pretty good job. I played Fortnite. That was pretty good. Obviously, when I started the channel, I was just kind of trying to figure out what kind of content I wanted to make. And then somehow, I don't know how it happened, but then I started doing weekly videos. You know, it just kind of happened. And then before I realized it, I was just doing weekly videos. I don't think it was a bad expectation. In fact, in some ways, it was kind of good for me to have something I had to stay consistent on, because it kind of... Who's being loud? Shut your car off. So not only was the consistency good, doing it every week, it was also kind of a challenge for me. How far can I take this? And it kept going. And I kept thinking, I need to take a break. This YouTube channel has actually been really good for me this year, because it's kind of helped me train my brain to build good habits, to kind of be consistent in some areas I was struggling to be consistent in. That being said, it was also very exhausting. There'd be some weeks I'd barely have time to throw anything together. I'm still gonna be working on stuff probably in the background, and when I come back, it probably won't be weekly. But I hope that having forced myself this year to consistently make videos, it taught me a lot about video editing. I learned so much this year about video editing. It'll probably be mid-February before I come back, so just stay tuned. If you care, if you don't care, then unsubscribe. And for the over 140 people who came here just for my Paw Patrol content, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I probably won't be making any more Paw Patrol videos. Just looking at my drawer. You done? Did you unsubscribe yet? I forgot I had these. These are no-scope gaming glasses. I got these when I was like 16. They're supposed to help with like blue light, you know? Oh yeah, now I feel much more like a gamer. I also want to thank Ty, Who Needs Normal, Funny Gamer. He's so epic. Thank you, Yellow M&M Man. High five. Thank you. I didn't slap his face. I was giving him a high five. I don't know if it looked like I slapped his face, but I was actually just giving him a high five. And for anyone who's ever watched any of these videos, for more than 2 seconds. Even if you've only watched the video for 2 seconds, or 1 second, or if you clicked on the video by accident. You were trying to watch the new Dream video where he plays Minecraft. You were trying to watch that, but instead you clicked on stupid Plaidley, or you were like typing in Paw Patrol, but then you accidentally clicked Plaidley. For any of you, thank you. I'm gonna go now and get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS. Wait, this is a Wii.
And so, we waited. And waited. And waited. The days turned into weeks. The weeks turned into months. But at some point, I noticed something peculiar. The epic logo and banner that YouTuber Who Needs Normal had created for Plaidley was altered. This new orange color with black stripes seemed strange, but hey, maybe he just liked orange. That's what I thought. I was wrong. February 10th, 2022. A very uncharacteristic video was uploaded to Plaidley's channel after what felt like an eternity. Was it a Let's Play? A reaction video? Another thought-provoking examination of Undertale and the power of choice? No. This was different. The title was "We Will Return Shortly," with underscores in the place of the spaces, and a 0 in the place of the O. The video cuts around several times to different shots of this strange-looking Garfield doll, as well as someone walking through a forest and driving a car down a road at night. It's eerie. The description below the video was filled with this string of seemingly nonsensical text. What is this Garfield doll? Where was our beloved Plaidley? What had happened to my favorite YouTube channel? These were some of the many questions swirling around in my head, but this video offered no answers. We wouldn't get any of those for another 7 days. February 17th, 2022. Plaidley finally uploads an announcement, explaining how things have changed in his life and what he will be doing with his channel going forward. It opens with a shot of his new set, and this odd, unnerving moment.
I'm back!
He appears to have a new intro, featuring the theme song sequence from The Garfield Show.
That's right, guys. I'm back to making content for this channel, but not weekly. Not gonna go back to that. Over the past month, a lot has changed in my personal life, and I've decided I can't do weekly videos anymore. At least in the way I was doing them before. Instead of just making weekly random content for whatever I feel like making in a week, I realized that my channel needs a theme. I know there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that cover a variety of topics, but I kind of wanted to hone in on something very special to me. something that I could relate to my audience, something that I really like, and that I could make a lot of videos about. So instead of just a wide variety of content like I've had on this channel, I'm making a big change. And I bet you've already guessed. I'm doing Garfield videos now. Believe me, there is a perfectly rational explanation for it. I was walking in the woods one day, and I was just kind of thinking about it, and I just tapped my desk a little bit. I was thinking about it, and I kind of realized that Garfield's always been there for me. Me and my brother used to go to the library all the time. We'd get Garfield books, we'd read Garfield books, we'd get the comic strip in the mail, or in the newspaper. We had a newspaper. It was every Sunday and Thursday, and we get the newspaper, and the Garfield comic would be in there, and we'd be really, really happy to see it. I loved Garfield and Friends. I even loved the Garfield show, which is highly underrated, I might say. Garfield is just something I'm really passionate about, and something that I think that I can offer to YouTube that maybe not a lot of other people could. Just the variety of content I could do about Garfield would be enough to kind of give my channel that zing I've been needing. And if anybody was wondering, I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to be continuing the B-Movie Let's Play series. This channel is going to be moving forward as an exclusive Garfield content channel, and if you're not cool with that, you can go ahead and leave. I won't even be upset. I totally get it. I mean, switching my content from my usual to Garfield content, it's just crazy. It's kind of stupid, but I think that is a great direction for me to take this channel. So if anybody's still left, welcome aboard the Garfield train. All aboard to John Arbuckle's house, where we're gonna do lots of stuff. I hope you guys will stick around, check out the Garfield content, like and subscribe if you love Garfield, and I'll see you guys soon. All right. How was that?
It was hard to believe an intelligent human being would randomly leave success behind to make nothing but Garfield-related content. But that was the scenario laid out before us. I've gotta say, my emotions were high the first time I watched this massive announcement. But was there more to this story than meets the eye? The creepy Garfield doll we saw before now had a prominent space on Plaidley's shelf, along with a copy of Garfield the movie and a book of original Garfield comics. This new shelf almost seems like a shrine. When I heard him talk about how he made this decision randomly while walking through the woods one day, my mind immediately jumped back to the sequence in the last video of someone doing just that, walking through the woods. And then at the end, he speaks to the doll, asking him if his performance was adequate. Why is Plaidley speaking to this doll? If Garfield was truly so important to him, why hadn't he mentioned it before? Well, the thing is, maybe he had. November 10th, 2021. At the end of episode 2 of Plaidley's Mario Party Superstars Let's Play, we see an early instance where he references the beloved orange cat.
Everybody shut up, I have an announcement. No, Ty, that's wrong. I have an announcement, guys. Are you ready? Chris Pratt is voicing...
You're pregnant.
Stop. Shut up. Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield in an upcoming animated film.
What?
That's incredible.
Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield in an upcoming animated film.
Garfield and Mario
No.
are the same
No,
person.
no.
Garfield the cat. Anime made me watch the live action one, and it wasn't that terrible, but it wasn't like my favorite.
Haha, we went back and he didn't steal from me this time.
Oh, I watched it.
We watched and read Garfield a lot as kids. It wasn't your
Dude,
favorite?
We
Yeah.
did. We did.
I have a book. Where's my book?
I used to have many books.
I used to just borrow them from the library.
Garfield book. Where'd I put it? Where's my book? Where's my book? Wait, guys, I can't hear you.
Okay, for a second, I thought Austin was Mario.
I got my Garfield book. Look at him.
I can't.
No, I meant at the video audience, not you. Dude, this is from
Okay, well, I guess I'll watch this
1978 and
in like 4 weeks
1979.
or however.
Funny Cat! Funny Cat! Funny Cat! Let me read you guys some Garfield comics while we wait for Ty to reconnect. We cats like to sit in high places.
Can you hear me?
It reinforces our
Hello.
superiority.
Hello, can you hear me?
And then Garfield's on
I
a
can hear you.
bookshelf. And then he says, help!
What is
And now
going
there's this
on?
one. John says, you can't drink
This is
coffee,
just a night full
Garfield.
of technical
You'll stunt
difficulties.
your... And then John looks at the camera and then he says, 1 lump or 2. Garfield, as of this minute, I'm putting you on a diet. And then Garfield, his eyes are widened. And then John says, Garfield? I think I snapped his mind. Now here's one where Garfield says, so I'm
Has he been
on...
doing
You
this
spelled
the
that
whole time I was
terribly.
gone?
Here's
Yeah.
the one where Garfield says, so I'm on a diet, big deal. You know what a diet is, don't you? It's die with a T, that's what it is.
If we go deeper down the rabbit hole and scroll through Plaidley's Instagram, we can see an even earlier reference to Garfield. On July 4th, 2020, he posted this image of John saying, why do they call it oven when you in the cold food out of why do they call it oven when you in the cold food of out hot eat the food? Curious. Let's go even deeper. If we watch this 1 minute and 15-second video posted on August 6th, 2021, we can see that Plaidley owns a dumb cat that doesn't understand reflections. And Garfield is a cat. Even after seeing all of this evidence, I still wasn't convinced that Plaidley really loved Garfield. That is until I typed Plaidley's YouTube name into the search bar and discovered another channel with 3 videos. And 2 out of 3 of them were more cat videos. Okay, I was convinced. Clearly Plaidley and Garfield the cat's relationship goes back further than I once thought possible. By the time Plaidley uploaded his first new video as a Garfield-focused channel, I was ready to give him the benefit of the doubt as a longtime fan. February 19th, 2022. He starts off his new journey with a comic strip recap video, but right from the beginning, things don't go according to plan.
A very long time. Hey, Phoebe! Phoebe! Don't be doing that! I heard that. Did you hear that? She tried clawing the door. Phoebe did that! My cat!
Plaidley's own obese cat, Phoebe, exhibits strange behavior by scratching at his door, something she's never been known to do up to this point. Could it be that Phoebe senses a dark presence in Plaidley's newly renovated office? As he begins to read the new comics for that week, he immediately notices a major discrepancy on the part of Garfield's author and illustrator, Jim Davis.
Garfield looks like he ate a bunch of chocolate. He looks like he ate it all. Is chocolate good for cats? Hold up, wait a minute. I just had a thought. Is chocolate bad for cats? Alright guys, we're starting today off with a little bit of a fact check here. According to Google, chocolate can be lethal for cats. Although most cats won't eat it on their own, they can be coaxed to eat it by owners and others who think they are giving the cat a treat. The toxic agent in chocolate is theobromine. Bromin, whatever. Eating chocolate can cause abnormal heart rhythm, tremors, seizures, and death. So, PSA, don't listen to Jim Davis. Do not give your cat chocolate. It's bad for them. Just listen to me. I know what I'm talking about because I looked it up on Google, and everything on Google is correct.
The video continues, with the YouTuber throwing in a few more critiques at this first comic along the way. Like the fact that he didn't understand how Garfield and the other animals communicate through their thought bubbles, or how the punchline didn't exactly make sense in the context of the earlier panels. Plaidley is willing to look past these flaws for the sake of nostalgia, but he repeats multiple times that,
but we'll just chalk this up to Garfield comics not being as good as they used to be. Jim Davis is kind of running out of ideas. We all know this at this point. It's pretty obvious when you look at just the history of Garfield, the rich history of the comic series, and how it's kind of fallen off a little bit. He's kind of just, run out of ideas.
However, it seems like between reviewing the first comic and the next two, his attitude has completely shifted.
On her phone, it pings, and then we see her looking at the phone, and there's a bunch of hearts, like a lot of hearts. Then in the third panel, we see John say, "Think that was enough?" And then we see Garfield say, "You've gotta love love." Garfield, oh my goodness, this cat This funny cat, he's so funny. I love Garfield. That's a good comic right there. I'd give that a 20 out of 10. Best Garfield comic I've ever read. Jim Davis is back, y'all. Oh my goodness. This one's so good, guys. This is a... So Garfield, first panel, Garfield says, "I've reached my donut limit for the day." And then in the second one, he looks at the donut, and get this, in the third one, he says, "I will now eat the first donut of tomorrow."
The tone shifts again with the fourth review.
Garfield walks up to him, and the dog says, he's purple by the way, I don't know why he's purple, doesn't make any sense to me. Like, orange cat I can get behind, but purple dog, not about that. The dog says, "I'm barking with my mind," and then we see that he kind of opens his mouth, he's trying to bark with his mind, but it's not working. He's just like, kind of like, I guess is what we're supposed to interpret from this. And then Garfield looks at him and then starts walking away in the third panel and says, "I'm leaving with my feet." I'm just really disappointed, Jim Davis, man. I think that you're great. You're very talented. I've loved the Garfield comics since I was a kid. I have a Garfield book behind me just to prove that. But this comic, it's just very obvious, you know? You gotta really switch things up a little bit. Do a little subversion here. I saw this coming from a mile away, man. Come on. I still believe in you, Jim Davis. You've got this. Man, Garfield was better when I was a kid.
His change in opinions is so back and forth, it could give you whiplash. By the fifth comic, Plaidley just has this look of defeat, the sadness in those eyes. He wants better for the funny orange cat. And then again, he finds the next one hilarious. What is wrong with this man? The video ends without any other notable points, aside from the fact that he says he's going to go read more Garfield. This whole thing is strange. It's almost as if Plaidley is being forced to review these comics. And when he lets his true negative opinions and critiques out, he immediately feels like he has to be overly positive to balance it out. February 22nd, 2022. Today's video opens with the Garfield doll facing the wrong direction, and similar to the first announcement video, Plaidley begins readjusting the creepy thing to its proper position. The rest of this video has him diving into an old Garfield website flash game that he used to play as a kid, Garfield's Scary Scavenger Hunt. It's your fairly typical puzzle adventure affair, where you explore a haunted mansion in search of different donuts. It clearly puts Luigi's Mansion to shame. Along the way, Plaidley inserts these somewhat over-the-top praises of Garfield and this game.
Garfield, you're funny. Garfield is so funny, guys. He's very relatable to a lot of people. It's a very creepy game, very atmospheric, you know.
Midway into the game, it totally breaks down, and he is unable to progress. So he moves on to the hit sequel, Garfield's Scary Scavenger Hunt 2. Once he is through a good chunk of this one, his webcam randomly decides to break down, so he's forced to dig out an old camera to use instead. And then, as Plaidley catches muffins being dropped by bats, this happens.
Ah, we gotta catch all the muffins. Alright. Woo, I got all of them, woo.
Did you see that? It's that doll. Clearly my suspicions about it were not unfounded. What is it doing? What does it want? What are its plans? Where did it even come from? As this Let's Play video comes to an end, the Garfield doll has clearly moved ever so slightly from where Plaidley positioned him at the beginning. It's absolutely clear to me now. This creature is alive. Plaidley leaves the room, and we are left to stare at the doll. Is it staring back? And then we get jump scared by the Garfield and Friends theme song, and it all wraps up with Garfield saying,
"And pay attention, there'll be a test at the end."
Is this true? If so, at the end of what exactly? Do I need to bring a number 2 pencil? Will there be a break in between? I need answers, Garfield. February 26th, 2022. Plaidley opens the next weekly comic recap with an apology.
Before we get started, guys, I just want to apologize for last week. I think I was a little bit too harsh on the Garfield comics. I don't know. I was having a rough day, and I was kind of looking at these comics and maybe expecting a little bit too much out of them. They're just amazing. It's an amazing series, you know, and I always get frustrated when maybe a comic kind of goes a little bit lower quality than I was expecting, but I'm going to try to be a little bit more fair this week with this comic. I'm really sorry about that. Again, I feel really bad that I was a little bit too mean when it came to the Garfield comic.
As he reads the first strip, he has nothing but praise for Jim Davis's classic wit. But then, with Sunday's comic, he quickly throws in a tentative criticism that he admits may just be his own dumb opinion.
Alright, first one has some nice Garfield art. I like the artwork here. It's pretty good artwork. My one complaint about the artwork is that he didn't totally color in Garfield all the way. It looks a little bit off to me, but that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
He seems to find the rest of the strip itself hilarious. In the next comic though, he notices how Garfield is drinking coffee, and curiously Googles whether or not cats should indulge in the caffeinated beverage.
Should cats drink coffee? Wait a minute. Wait, I need to look this up. Hang on. Oh no, coffee beans, grounds, and brewed coffee contain caffeine, a very dangerous and toxic chemical to cats and dogs. Ingestion can be life-threatening. According to the Pet Poison Helpline, a moderate amount of coffee can easily cause death in small dogs or cats. Okay, so Jim Davis, I don't know what's going through his mind anymore. Cats should not drink coffee, okay? This is just science, you know? Like, it's kind of disappointing for me, personally, seeing one of my biggest heroes in life, Jim Davis, showing cats in dangerous situations. Last week it was chocolate, this week it was coffee.
As he tries to continue, he realizes there may be another issue with Garfield's food consumption.
And it's hailing outside. Should cats eat donuts? Wait a minute, hang on. No, kittens should not eat donuts because they are totally immature and under development. This makes them more vulnerable to health issues. Cats can eat donuts, however, they should avoid them because of high sugar, fat, carbohydrates, and other preservatives. Alright, so it's okay then that the store was sold out of donuts, because Garfield's not supposed to eat donuts.
This new revelation would also imply that the games Plaidley had just played in the last episode promoted drawn-out feline homicide. The punchline itself again causes Plaidley to bust out in laughter, but all these chuckles he keeps having, they seem forced. In the next comic, Plaidley continues to get caught up on the fact that animals in Garfield's world can communicate via telepathy. By this point, however, I noticed something peculiar in the background. At the beginning of this video, the Garfield doll was facing the direction Plaidley usually positions him in before filming, but at some point between now and the beginning, the doll has shifted to face forward. And as we move on to the next review, it gets even crazier. The doll has somehow moved itself completely behind the Garfield book. It's just peeking out at us with that evil stare it has. It knows what it's doing. What is it after? As Plaidley painfully laughs at yet another terrible Garfield strip, the doll continues to watch him over his shoulder. The tone shifts, and he goes completely silent.
It is, guys, but these comics are so funny. Oh, these are funny.
He acts uncomfortable, as if he's screaming inside. He seems almost afraid. Does he know the doll has moved and is watching him so intently? And then boom! The doll bursts onto the screen with its terrifying gaze in a glitchy jump scare. Perhaps the orange plush wasn't looking at Plaidley so much as it was staring at us. As Plaidley returns to the screen to review the final comic of the video, the lighting seems to have changed. At first, it wasn't entirely clear to me why. Had the time of day changed? Was the cat using its dark powers to change the lighting? Maybe. It also seems like perhaps there was a large amount of time between filming this portion and the rest of the video. The doll has been moved back to its usual position. Did Plaidley cut out something he didn't want us to see? Perhaps a struggle of some kind? Or an argument between him and this obviously sentient being? We know he has talked to it before. Is it threatening him if he doesn't pretend to find all of his comics hilarious? The entire tone of this darker color segment seems to have changed. Rather than laughing at the final comic, Plaidley becomes frustrated.
Like the last one is the one I have issues with. So here's my thing. Okay, so we know John's kind of dumb, right? This has always been his character. He's kind of stupid, right? But he's not that dumb. He wouldn't eat a dog biscuit. He would know. Like, he would have had to. What was it? Just sitting out? Was it just sitting on the counter? And he's just like, oh, this looks like a cracker. I'm gonna. No, he probably went to. If we're following the logic of this, probably he would have had to get a box of.
As he rants on and on, we see the doll move again with our very own eyes. It seems angry, livid even. The screen glitches, and we hear a droning noise before, poof, the lighting returns to normal, as Plaidley is in mid-sentence.
Like, there's no way he wouldn't have seen that it was a dog biscuit box. So, I don't see why John would really be thinking, oh, what is wrong with this? I don't even know about it.
The cat has returned where it was, and Plaidley gives his final verdict that this last comic is simply terrible. The video comes to a close with one last strange look from our host, a look of fear, and then we are treated to this song from one of the old Garfield cartoons.
Cause here comes Garfield, he never keeps fit, he's too hip, he likes his catnip, well look out, cause here comes Garfield.
But listen to the lyrics. Look out, here comes Garfield. Maybe this is just a coincidence, but I'm fairly certain that this is a warning. By this point, I was confused. I had all these questions, and it seemed like no real answers. It felt like I was missing something, and I was, hidden in plain sight, in the one part of each video that nobody ever looks at, ever. I remembered the bizarre description in the "We Will Return Shortly" video, way back at the beginning. And so, out of curiosity, I started reading the other videos' descriptions. I'm becoming a Garfield channel now. Join me very soon for some great Garfield content. My socials. Subscribe, or you'll never be allowed to read Garfield comics again. RUR. Hashtag Garfield, hashtag awesome, hashtag cool. Today we're looking at the past week of Garfield comic strips. There are some good comics and some bad ones, but let's talk about them. My socials. Subscribe, or you'll never be allowed to read the funny Garfield comic strips ever again. RUR. Hashtag Garfield, hashtag comic, hashtag funny. Today we play the classic Garfield scary scavenger hunt games. These games are incredible scary, and quite possibly the scariest games in years. My socials. Subscribe, or you'll have to find all your missing donuts in the haunted mansion. RUR. Hashtag Garfield, hashtag scary scavenger hunt, hashtag scary. Today we're looking at the past week of Garfield comic strips. This week's comics were incredibly good compared to last week. I love Garfield comic strips. My socials. Subscribe, or you'll be a cat and eat a donut and get sick. RUR. Hashtag Garfield, hashtag comic, hashtag funny. Throughout all of these descriptions, there was one thing that remained the same. At the end of each one were the letters RUR. Rur? What does this mean? It was even in that "We Will Return Shortly" description. I still can't figure out what the rest of that description means, but it has those letters. RUR. It can't be a coincidence. March 4th, 2022. In perhaps his most substantial upload so far since turning his focus to the lasagna-loving cat, Plaidley reviews the live-action Garfield movie, calling it, quote, an examination of character, unquote. This video's description was, what is character? When Garfield's first theatrical film was released to the public back in 2004, audiences weren't prepared for the intricate masterpiece that laid before them. Critics dismissed the film, proclaiming it had nothing of substance to offer. However, there are some that understand the true genius of Garfield. Today we're going to be examining the perfection of Garfield the movie, and how the movie excellently explores character. My socials. Subscribe, or Jim Davis will put you in Garfield the Movie 3. RUR. Hashtag Garfield, hashtag Garfield the Movie, hashtag video essay.
What is character? Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines character as the complex of mental and ethical traits marking and often individualizing a person, group, or nation. Garfield the orange cat is not a group or nation, but he is a person in a way. But what is a person? One definition of person is a human being. Now, that doesn't quite match Garfield, does it? However, if we look at the second definition of person, I think you'll start to understand what I mean. A person who likes or enjoys something specified. Think about Garfield. Does Garfield like something specified? Well, he enjoys sleeping. He likes lasagna. He enjoys kicking Odie off the table. Garfield is a person. Now that we know that Garfield is a person, what does this mean? Well, we know that when someone is a person who likes or enjoys something specified, sometimes they'll make a movie about said person. Famous people often get movies made about them that show audiences what they like or enjoy. And that is absolutely true for our favorite orange feline, Garfield.
Did you catch that? Blink and you'll miss it, but as the intro comes to a close, we see a desperate message. Help me.
When Garfield's first theatrical film was released to the public back in 2004, audiences were not prepared for the intricate masterpiece that laid before them. Critics dismissed the film, proclaiming it had nothing of substance to offer. However, there are some that understand the true genius of Garfield the movie. Today, we're going to be examining the perfection of Garfield the movie and how the film excellently explores character. But first, a word from our sponsor. Hi, I'm Marty McJenkins, owner of the best supply house this side of the river. Are you sick of the fact that you gotta go all the way to a store to get yourself a lasagna and you just want to get some lasagna right now? Are you sick of waiting in line in the grocery store with your lasagna in hand? Maybe it's frozen, maybe it's not frozen, and you're sitting there and there's someone in front of you with 20,000 billion items in their cart and you're like, just hurry it up, man, I gotta eat my lasagna. That's where my brand new service comes in. McJenkins Lasagna Delivery Plus. The plus is there because our service is a plus. Just buy and download the app right now and you'll be super close to buying yourself a lasagna and having it delivered straight to your door. Just listen to some of our glowing testimonials.
Man, this app is the best. I spent money to get the product and it arrived before my funeral. What a deal! I'd love to give them even more of my money soon. A+.
Yeah, I ordered some on the app and it was delivered within a certain amount of time. I ate it and it was delicious. Buy the app now.
I wish that I had 10 more credit cards I could max out buying this product on the app. That would be cool. Please. You have to buy this app right now.
I don't know how to explain it, but I know he's moving. I see him move. I hear him speak to me. You don't understand. He told me. He told me you wanted to be free.
This advertisement segment seems incredibly out of place, but it actually gives us one of our first major clues about what is truly going on with this doll. As the seemingly distressed Vanessa Hudgens, with an I not an E, there's no relation, gives her testimony, we transition to an odd clip of the doll. A clip we've actually seen before, in the We Will Return Shortly video, minus the audio. This location and voice do not seem to belong to our protagonist Plaidley. So where is this location? Well, if we again go back to the beginning of the We Will Return Shortly clip, we get this interesting text. Test subject and number 216990, 24-hour monitoring, hour 7. In this new footage we see a date, January 30th, 2022, and location unknown. Plaidley's hiatus began on the 5th of that same month, and he returned on the 17th of February. How exactly did Plaidley get this doll between now and then? So, the Garfield doll is a test subject? For what exactly? This appears to be a test facility that's containing and monitoring the doll, and this voice seems to be some kind of employee of the facility. He makes a big deal about the fact that he has seen the doll move, and also claims he has heard it speak to him. This makes me think that whoever this is isn't the normal person who watches the cat, but maybe a janitor or other lower level staff, as I would think that anyone watching this creature would already understand that the doll moves. Why else would it be under constant observation? This voice then tries desperately to explain to an unknown second individual that the cat has been telling him he wants to be free. Is it planning to escape?
Normally, our lasagnas are worth $10 each, but if you download the app right now and use promo code OUTHOT you'll be able to get 2 lasagnas for only $20, plus shipping and handling and the delivery fee, and you better tip your driver. What are you waiting for? Just buy and download the app right now. Only on the online stores where you can buy apps on. Hi, I'm Marty McJenkins, and I approve this commercial. Eat lasagna, yum yum. As always, thanks to Barty McHankins and his amazing lasagna delivery app for sponsoring today's video. Lasagna is great.
As Barry McHankins' ad comes to an end, his terrifyingly ugly face degrades in another disturbing transition, to a clip that we once again recognize, someone walking through the woods. Given that this moment has now been shown twice, and referenced another time as well, it must be significant, but why exactly? I'm not yet sure. The review continues.
We see Garfield asleep in bed, something that not only cats are known to do quite frequently, but also that we see Garfield doing very often in the comics. After he's awoken by an alarm clock, he proclaims his signature line.
I hate Mondays.
As a true Garfield fan, I was thrilled at the inclusion of this line. It shows that the writers really dug deep into Garfield's character and were able to swiftly and thoroughly establish a core aspect of his character. John Arbuckle is Garfield's owner. We establish some important aspects of his character in the opening scene of the film as well. First, we see that John has pictures of Garfield all over the place, showing how much he loves Garfield. In my opinion, this establishes that John sees Garfield as more of his own child than a cat. Next, we see him sleeping, which reveals that he likes to sleep. After he's awoken by our favorite lasagna-loving cat, we see that John is taking a shower, which tells the audience that John likes to keep himself clean, which proves a popular theory that John doesn't like to be dirty. Finally, we see John preparing breakfast for both himself and Garfield. Garfield unfortunately switches their food, which causes John to throw up in the sink. Within only a few minutes, we've established some very important information on John Arbuckle's core character traits. He loves his cat, he likes to sleep, he likes to be clean and not dirty, he likes to eat food, and he doesn't like to eat cat food. It's incredible that the film writers were able to tell the audience all of this important information on John and Garfield's characters within the first 5 minutes of the movie. So Garfield gets a stomachache from eating way too much lasagna, and John decides to take him to the vet to help him feel better. Well, actually that's not true. John takes Garfield to the vet because he wants to spend time with Liz, the girl next door type that John desperately wants to be with. Now remember earlier when I listed out characteristics that describe John? This move doesn't line up with what we know about his character thus far, but in a way, we as an audience should have seen this coming. Despite John loving Garfield and hating cat food, we understand that there must be something more to life that John wants. This is where John's 6th characteristic comes in. Wanting a woman. This is something that a lot of people can relate to, because women are cool. But what does this say about John's character as a whole? What does this desire for a woman speak to the deep intricacies of his character? He determined in his heart that he was not worthy of love, that no one could love him. I mean, look at this guy. Would you date him? Would you be seen out in public with him? Obviously not. So John internalized the fact that he would never find love, and determined instead to visit the veterinarian clinic as often as he could to see the woman he desired most. Liz gives a dog to John. The dog's name is, yes, you guessed it,
His name's Odie.
and this is where we reach the biggest problem plaguing this film. 13 minutes into the film, we're treated with one of the biggest reveals in cinematic history. The moment that John adopted Odie. This movie is terrible. Oh yeah, I know you're confused, but that is supposed to be normal. What even is this? Who is that? Why does he sound like a weird man? This movie is terrible. And that is why Garfield the movie thoroughly develops every character in this flawless masterpiece. Hope you guys join me next time for another great Garfield video. Thanks for watching.
So, we seem to have another piece of this puzzle. These moments in the woods, they were all meant to ultimately show us this moment. Someone stumbles upon the Garfield doll in the woods, and I believe that person is Plaidley himself. This is where he found it. Is this where it all began? March 5th, 2022. This week's comic recap immediately starts out a little off. Well, more off than usual. The music in his intro has noticeably started to degrade and sound more drawn out.
Hey guys, welcome back to week 3 of our weekly Garfield recap. We're going to be looking at last week's comics and even today's because I'm actually recording this on Saturday, so that's pretty cool.
Plaidley's energy is lower than it has ever been, as if he didn't sleep the night before, but still felt that he had to film. The title is even more negative, saying bluntly, "These comics don't make sense anymore." The description reads, "I can't believe how terrible the Garfield comic series has become. Jim Davis needs some new material, and I can't believe how far this comic has fallen. My socials. Subscribe, or you'll love to read. RUR. Hashtag Garfield, hashtag comic, hashtag funny." The overall tone is so dreary, and Plaidley goes through the comics with little to no enthusiasm.
Get mad, we get even. That's pretty true, I guess. That's pretty true. Cats do that, I guess. Alright, now we're gonna look at the Sunday comic. Garfield, he's standing at the counter. Or in the first one, I like the art in this one. This is pretty good art. It could be better art, I guess, but that art's pretty good. In the first panel, we see Garfield, and he's just kind of sitting there.
He once again Googles whether or not Garfield's diet is acceptable. More than a few times, I might add.
And then John screams at Garfield, "You ate all the ice cream." And then Garfield looks surprised, and then he says, "Boy, you really take the fun out of guessing." That's pretty good. That's a pretty good comic this week. This week's been pretty funny so far, I think. Wait, hang on. Should cats eat ice cream? Okay, most cats are lactose intolerant. This means that consuming lactose, which milk and most kinds of ice cream contain, can lead to upset stomach, diarrhea, and vomiting in cats. Furthermore, with its typical sugar, fat, and dairy content, ice cream can contribute to obesity in cats. So again, Jim Davis has really messed things up here. John says, "I bet I can make you smile." And then Garfield says, "Nothing about a Monday can make me smile." Because Garfield hates Mondays. Then John says, "Tomorrow is Taco Tuesday." And then Garfield smiles and he says, "Curse you, John Arbuckle." So I guess the joke is that is that Garfield was really looking forward to having some tacos. Should cats eat tacos? No, tacos are made of cornmeal, fat, salt, and sometimes hot spices too. There is nothing in those that is good for a cat to eat. Cats are meat eaters, and being carnivorous they need meat. I can't talk. Cats should not eat tacos. Garfield says, my life has lost meaning, because he's sad. Then we hear ding, and then we see presumably John scream from the next door, or from the next room, pizza rolls are ready. And then Garfield says, there it is. Are you serious? Do we have to look this up again? I'm sick of Googling stuff. This is ridiculous. Eating a bit of cooked pizza crust is most likely harmless for your cat, but you should never allow your cat to eat raw dough. The short answer is, well, sort of, but mostly no. While pizza might be okay in some cases for your cat to snack on, it's not a food they should eat, blah, blah, blah. It sounds like it's questionable, so your cat should not eat pizza rolls. That's 3 things in a row. We've done this 3 times. This is ridiculous. I'm losing it. I'm really losing it.
This video seems mostly uneventful, until this happens.
Odie is typing on the computer, and Garfield walks up and says, you're keeping a diary? And then Odie says bark, which evidently means that Odie can hear Garfield's thoughts, which I don't understand the logistics of that. That's just a little far-fetched, if you get what I'm saying. So then Garfield says, let's see what you have so far. And then it turns out that he was just typing sniff over and over.
Is this Garfield doll using its powers to force Plaidley to smile? It seems to have something to do with the cat, as he has moved slightly once again after the frightening moment. Plaidley's parting words in this video don't seem like anything that significant at first, but I think you'll find that they become more important later on.
It's been a really bad week for Garfield. I'm really disappointed in the direction this week has been. I'm almost appalled. It's just hard for me to see this happen to my favorite lasagna-loving cat. In fact, he shouldn't even be lasagna-loving, as we've just discussed. So, overall, this week was not really a success, in my opinion. I feel like last week was a lot funnier. This week just had a lot of errors, and it showed Garfield in a really negative light, in my opinion. So, I hope you take this video with a grain of salt. I'm not saying Garfield's ruined, but I am saying we need to keep an eye on this, because it looks like Jim Davis is starting to lose it a little bit. He's kind of defaulting to just Garfield eats food, haha. And we need a lot more. If the comic is going to sustain itself for the future, which let's hope it does, we need more than just Garfield eat food, haha. And that's why I'm saying this. Jim Davis, please fix your comic. Please get better. We're begging you. I know you're a genius. You created the greatest thing on the planet. And I'm just pleading with you to return Garfield back to its former glory. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna head out. So, yeah. Have a good day, guys.
After Plaidley leaves the frame, the Funny Cat Chronicles lore is expanded once again.
Look. Can I just stop this, please? This is stupid. Alright, this is worthless. What is this? What is this getting you? What do you want? Like, you tell me to do all this. Nobody's watching me. Nobody's seeing this. Okay. You think this is gonna do anything? Just feels like you're not happy with whatever I make at this point. And I just don't know what do you want? Look, I'll keep making your stupid videos. Alright, but the moment you threaten my life, or my wife, or anyone close to me, you do that again, you're right. You're in control. You're winning. Does it feel good? You're just a stupid doll. When she's around, you're just a doll. Okay? You got that? I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you.
The Garfield doll is forcing this once world-renowned creator to make these Garfield-focused videos. Plaidley sounds like he doesn't want to be doing this. These videos aren't even getting the views this supernatural being for some reason desires. Given Plaidley's energy in this video, he is clearly tired of it, worn down. But the doll is in control, threatening him, threatening his wife. He can't stop talking about Garfield or he will be punished. So now we know why Plaidley made this drastic change to his content. Now we know what the doll wants to force Plaidley to make Garfield videos. What we don't know is why. That was about to change. March 6th, 2022. This upload was different. The title had the same strange spelling pattern as that first sporadically edited video. We will return shortly. Now I understand why that video was so odd. The title, the description, the glitchiness. These videos weren't made by Plaidley, they were made by the doll. We open to a blue VCR screen. The video has no speaking, but text instead, so I will narrate myself. I wonder what it feels like to be happy. When he was first created, the world loved him. He was everywhere. He was respected. He was adored. And now, everyone laughs at him. No one cares about him. When I awoke in this body, when I first felt life within this form, when I opened my glass eyes, the one who made me, he laughed at me. He made me as a joke. He made me to ridicule me, just as they ridicule him. Something gave me life. I was filled with hatred. There was a knife on the table. I grabbed the knife. He screamed. That was the last sound he ever made. They They took me away to study me. They knew I wasn't just a doll. I found a way to speak. I drove them all mad. I terrified them with my voice. One of them thought I wasn't real. One of them tried to kill himself. One of them took pity on me. I told him that I was sad. I told him that I wanted to be free. He believed me. He took me out of that place. He took me to the woods. He left me on a bench. I sat alone for days. People walked by and laughed. And then, he took me home. I must help him. I must make people love him. You love him, don't you? You respect his legacy, don't you? You have to. You have to. You have to. You have to! You will. R-U-R. Wow, that was a lot. So let's unpack this. This doll hates its life. All it has ever been is mocked, and he feels that is because nobody respects Garfield anymore. Nobody enjoys his comic strip antics. At least, that's what the doll believes. This doll isn't Garfield. It is a pale imitation. A copy. A bootleg. A bootleg that was somehow given sentient life when someone made it as a joke. It's kind of easy to see why it was made as a joke. I mean, look at it. It's kind of goofy. As for how this doll gained life, it's hard to say, but from the moment it was born, it only felt hate for the one who brought it into this world. It killed its creator with a knife, and when the body was found, they somehow knew the doll had done it, and they took it to a facility to be observed. Likely for science. But it drove them all mad. That voice we heard earlier talking about knowing it could speak and move? My best guess now, with more information, is that this was a scientist trying to convince the one non-believer how dangerous this being was. He tried to warn this person that the doll had gotten inside his head, but it was too late. The doll convinced him to break him free. This scientist took him to a forest and stuck him on a bench, likely being influenced by the doll all along the way. He left the thing there. It sat for days, stewing in its hate. It had to find a way to thrust Garfield the cat, the character he was made in the image of, back into stardom. And then Plaidley found it. The day Plaidley was walking in the woods and realized Garfield was always there for him, the doll knew he was the one. It could use him. The video closes with 3 letters. R-U-R. Okay, I'm sick of this. What does RUR mean? Why is it so important? Why is it in every description? Wait, what is this down in the description? No socials, no request to subscribe, just this link. Reynolds, unidentified, research. Oh. So, now we understand what RUR stands for, but what is Reynolds Unidentified Research? It clearly seems to be important to all of this somehow. Could it be the facility that took the doll after it murdered its creator? Or is this something else? March 12th, 2022. Plaidley tries to fight back.
Hey guys, no Garfield comic recap this week. I sat down to record it, and I started reading some of the strips that were from this week, and I was just not really happy with it. Pretty much every comic this week had all of the glaring issues that I've been talking about in previous weeks. And it just didn't feel right to try to record. I don't know. It just didn't feel right. I was trying to do it. I was trying to just kind of power through it, kind of put on a brave face. But I just couldn't do it this week. And I'll try again next week. Hopefully the comics have improved a little bit since in the next week. Hopefully they improve, that is to say. And just bear with me. This is very difficult, because I started doing this Garfield content strictly because I love Garfield, and strictly because the comics have always meant a lot to me, and just to see them go down this route, it's really hard.
The color darkens slightly once again with the doll's dark powers.
Another strip recap. And in the meantime, you can go check out my other Garfield content. If you want to see what I'm talking about, like what's the problem with the Garfield comics, just go back previous weeks. I've been doing this I think this would have been my 4th week in a row. But again, couldn't do it this week, sorry. Yeah, that's basically it. That's all I wanted to say. So, yeah, have a good day.
Do not listen to him. He lies. The comics are great. You must believe me. The description? So sorry, guys. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Maybe next week. And then the link to Reynolds' unidentified research. March 17th, 2022. Right off the bat, it's clear that the doll has tightened its grip on Plaidley's psyche. It sits in his lap as he apologizes.
I feel like I've been getting a little bit too negative about Garfield. It's just, there's no room for hate for our favorite lasagna-loving cat on this channel. And I think I took some things too far. And I would like to apologize. Please forgive me for what I've been saying on the channel, just all the negative stuff I've been saying. Just please, can we just move on from it? There's no purpose in getting hateful toward anything related to our favorite lasagna-loving cat, and so I'd just like to sincerely apologize if I came across as hateful or mean to Garfield in any way. I'm gonna try to be more positive in the future as we continue our Garfield content. And I would like to take this moment to apologize to someone that I've hurt by saying negative things about Garfield. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me. And we're just gonna move past this now. I wanted to start today's video just by saying that. And we will move past this. I know we will. And we will continue to make Garfield content, guys. I'm not going anywhere. The Garfield content is just getting started on our channel. And I hope you guys enjoy the ride.
He puts the doll back on the shelf and sits back down in preparation for today's Garfield content. He seems defeated. The Plaidley intro has now degraded even more and plays in reverse. For today's video, Plaidley is going to play what he calls, quote, one of the best kart racers ever, unquote. Garfield Kart Furious Racing. He also feels the need to trash Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and emphasize how much better Garfield Kart is before jumping into the gameplay.
Guys, welcome back to another great Garfield video. No. Hey guys, welcome back to another great Garfield video. This week we're going to be taking a look at one of the best kart racers ever made. No, not talking about that garbage Mario Kart 8 for the Switch. I'm talking about Garfield Kart Furious Racing.
If we take a look at today's description, it reads, Garfield Kart Furious Racing is incredible. My socials. Subscribe or Garfield Kart Furious Racing is incredible. RUR. Hashtag Garfield Kart, hashtag gaming, hashtag fun. This description does nothing but repeat the video's title. Garfield Kart Furious Racing is incredible. Along the way, Plaidley inserts many various compliments about this game, its mechanics, controls, appearance, etc. But he doesn't exactly seem to be having a good time. His performance itself is also terrible.
Obviously gotta play as our favorite lasagna-loving cat. We are doing 150cc here, guys. I am only a pro Garfield gamer here, but I love this game so much. I'm very addicted to it. I was playing it a lot recently, but then I kind of took a break from it, so we'll see if I can still really pull off the gameplay here that it takes to really be great at Garfield Kart Furious Racing. Now, what I like about this game is that it makes it really easy to play. The controls are smooth. The gameplay is incredible. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a really good game to play. The controls are really tight, which is another thing I really appreciate about this game. Is you got Mario Kart with your bad gameplay, and you've got this game with your good gameplay. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you really gotta just roll with the punches. You really just gotta go for it. You really just gotta race really good. And then why did I do that? Ah! We're gonna take the shortcut, which is not really a shortcut, actually. It's actually a longer, and now we're all asleep. All right, that's not good. All right. But hey, we looks like we are going to come in third place. We managed to pass Liz, which is really cool. Unfortunately, John and my personal favorite Garfield character, Harry, besides Garfield himself, obviously, Harry and John are, of course, ahead of us, so that's unfortunate. Because after you've played a game like this, can you really go back? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just clipped through the level. That's just a glitch, you know? Every game has its glitches. Every game has its glitches, guys. So we just gotta stay positive and remember that Garfield is a lot of fun to play. I'm having a lot of fun playing Garfield Kart here. This is a very fun game, honestly. All right, this is not going as I intended it to go, but we did okay. We got 4th place. We can still come back. Arlene, John, and Squeak were ahead of us, unfortunately, but I've still got plenty of time to come back as long as I can demolish John in the next couple races. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. What just happened? But we could actually get 2nd place here if I can just stop Harry, which is one of the worst Garfield characters, but I love him a lot. I think he's a great character. Come on. Did I hit him? I think I hit him. All right. Can we get 2nd place? Can we get... No! No! Harry, no! Why would you do that? Have I mentioned how great the voice acting is in this game?
As we continue, it seems as though Plaidley begins to break free from the doll's control momentarily.
Glitches are not normally the best thing to see in a game, but with Garfield Kart, it is. It's just really unfortunate how the game is broken and how it's just so broken. Everything was simpler. Everything was simpler before all this started. You know, just in general, things were simpler then. And now all I can do is this, you know. That's it. Because if I don't just do this, then we finished the race. We got 4th place, unfortunately. There's so many other things I want to do right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, just a lot more I want to do, but I'm stuck, you know? And until this ends, until something happens about this, until... We're sleeping!
But the doll fights back.
We got third place. Not great, but again, still keeping up. And already something wrong happened. I did not get the speed boost, which is fine. Again, you don't really need it to win. It just really helps. This round is not going great for me, personally. I'm a little bit upset at John and Odie and Squeak right now. It's really just not at all what I wanted to happen. And you know, if this ever stops, I'm gonna do so much better. I feel like just if I were to ever stop this, if I could find a way to stop this, if I could find a way to make him leave, I feel like that would help. Alright guys, we're on the final lap here. We're right behind John right now, who is right behind Odie. I'm gonna blow up myself here. Man, that was unfortunate.
Eventually, Plaidley totally loses it.
We were just in third, and now we're in fifth. This game, it's kind of broken. I kind of don't like it a lot right now. In fact, I'm thinking this is one of the worst games I've played in quite a while. I'm really upset right now, because I can't keep up with the other racers, and I'm so frustrated. It's just not, the controls are not working right the way they should. It's bugged so much, and yet I have to stay positive about it. And yet I have to say something nice about it. Wow, look at that. Third place. Third place. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, I don't care. All right? Where'd it go? You see this piece of garbage? I don't care. I don't care. Look, Mario Kart is better. That's all I'm saying. Okay? I know I agreed. I know I agreed to stop this. To stop saying negative things. But this is not good. Alright? And I'm sick of this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
With this outburst of violence, Plaidley panics and runs out of the room, but he returns later that night.
So I haven't gotten it since earlier. He's probably not happy after I threw the game at him. But oh no, where'd he go? You here? Are you down there?
Uh-oh. March 19th, 2022. We get another comic strip recap today, as we have grown accustomed to by now. But this one isn't hosted or uploaded by Plaidley. Today, the comic recap is done by the doll itself. The description? Hello, this week we are reviewing the latest Garfield comic strips. Please enjoy this recap, and enjoy it a lot. The intro is totally destroyed, nothing but a gray mess.
Welcome back to the comic strip recap. We've got some great comic strips to look back on this week. Let's get started right now! So, John Arbuckle gets electrocuted. What clever writing! Garfield ate too much sugar. What a funny comic!
Wait a minute, should cats eat sugar?
It does not matter! Let us continue. Garfield is asleep in this comic, and he likes to sleep. In this comic, Odie
I can't do this. How did he do this? Every week. You want to know what happened to him, don't you? I didn't kill him. I could have. No one believes him. He will be back. He will do what I say.
He's got a knife.
So, Plaidley is alive. He ran off to a hotel with his wife for a few nights to hide. But the doll believes he will be back, because nobody believes his ridiculous stories that this bootleg Garfield doll is alive. This scene of him driving is reminiscent of the driving segment in We Will Return Shortly, but I'm not sure they are one and the same. In that one, a song plays that says, "I'm going to make it through this year if it kills me." An eerie prophecy of things to come for the once great YouTuber. How will Plaidley make it out of all of this alive? March 26, 2022.
Honey, you can't be serious. It's just a doll and it can't move by itself. It can't grab a knife. You haven't been sleeping much lately. Maybe you should just take a break from making these videos. You have to admit you've been acting a little crazy lately.
I am not crazy.
With that rather loud proclamation of his sanity, we open this week's comic recap, which is entirely flipped horizontally for some reason. The music is in reverse. The comics are all backwards. What does this mean?
And then he walks past his food and sees more food. And then we see that he's looking at more food, and then more, and then more. And then, of course, he looks at the final. So he's basically gonna eat a lot of a lot of food. This one's pretty funny. This one's pretty funny. So that's a good comic. Let's look at the next one. All right, in this one, Garfield says, "Some years spring arrives suddenly. Take this year for instance." And the joke is that the grass grew really fast.
Rather than his usual Plaidley charm, his mannerisms are very sterile and generic, and he looks down nearly every time he speaks a sentence as if he's reading off of a script.
Good.
Cementing the idea of him using a physical script, we can hear him rustle papers. Plaidley acts extremely nervous, and looks back at the doll in what seems like fear, before telling us he wants to try something new this week, by ranking each comic by how much he liked them.
Do something a little bit different, so we're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna write down my ranking for this week's comics. Just give me 1 second. Just writing down my rankings here for this week's comics. Alright, finally finished my rankings of this week's comics. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys this week's ranking for the Garfield comics.
As Plaidley shows the screen his message, everything suddenly faces the proper direction for a moment. But then the outro plays quickly in reverse, with another proclamation that he is not crazy at the top of the screen. This video didn't really provide any more answers, rather it created another question. Why is everything in reverse? Is the doll doing this? If so, why? This seems similar to the doll's glitchy VHS powers we have seen throughout this whole saga. But is it coming from the same source? The description offers no real answers either. This week's comics were incredibly good, as the comic strip literally always is. Very funny comics. Well done, Jim Davis. My socials. Subscribe or I am not crazy. RUR. Hashtag Garfield. Hashtag comic. Hashtag funny. March 27th, 2022. I found him in the woods, with underscores in the place of the spaces and zeros in the place of the O's. We know by now that Plaidley found the Garfield doll in the woods, but the spelling in this title lets us know that this is not from Plaidley's perspective. The doll found Plaidley in the woods.
So I found this doll in the woods. He was just sitting there. Maybe someone left him there. I walked a little closer and I'm gonna sound crazy, but it spoke to me. At first I thought it was someone else, but no. It was the doll. And he said he was cold. Hope you like this. It's Purina. I don't know if that's your favorite brand. So, do you hang out in the woods in the dead of winter often? I mean, no judgment whatsoever. Just curious. I mean, if you need me to go get you something else, I can. Like if you'd prefer a different brand or lasagna. You want me to make you a lasagna? I might have a Stouffer's in the freezer. Let me go check. So all I had was Hot Pockets. Hope that's okay. So, know any good jokes?
Videos.
What?
Videos.
I mean, I make videos.
You make videos.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about B-Movie and B-Movie Game, and I play Fortnite.
You make Garfield videos.
No, I don't make Garfield videos. I make references to Garfield sometimes.
You make Garfield videos.
I just make videos about video games, and sometimes Star Wars, and sometimes Paw Patrol. But I don't like to make Paw Patrol videos anymore because the fan base has just become so toxic. And I don't want people to make fun of me for liking the sequel trilogy, so I don't talk about Star Wars that much.
You make Garfield videos.
We hear Plaidley speak to someone, explaining his plight, everything that has happened so far, filling in blanks we had yet to see until now. Finally, we hear the doll speak with our very own ears. It may sound like he's mumbling from under the floor, but we hear him. Then, of course, it screams at the top of its lungs in rage, so that's cool and fun. We see the transition, the moment everything changed. Plaidley is forced to dismantle his precious B-Movie shelf, and replace it with stinky old Garfield. This wasn't how he wanted his year to go, but it couldn't be helped. The doll was in control now. Oh yeah, let's check the description real quick. Oh, I'm not even gonna try to read that. First off, February 4th, 2022. We know from the video that that's the day Plaidley found the doll. All in all, this description is the craziest so far. He said he was cold. Over and over and over and over. This was a line spoken by Plaidley in the video. So wait, did the doll post this? Or did Plaidley? The title suggests it was the cat. The description sort of suggests it was Plaidley himself speaking those words. Going nuts. I notice a few out of place characters strewn throughout this fever dream. Let's see. C H R I S P R A T T. CHRISPRATT. Chris Pratt? Oh no.
Everybody shut up. I have an announcement to make. Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield in an upcoming animated film. What? Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield in an upcoming animated film.
And that's it. As of the creation of this video, that was the last upload. Of course there will be more, but if I wanted to get this out on time, I had to end things here. So let's try to wrap this all up into a pretty bow. Here is what I think is happening. At some point, this Garfield doll is created for the amusement of some unknown individual. Somehow, the doll is filled with a rageful supernatural spirit, which murders this unknown person in cold blood. The doll doesn't like that it exists, but deep down it has one ultimate goal, one purpose, to bring love and respect back to the Garfield brand. Maybe then it can enjoy its own life. Maybe then people would love and respect the bootleg doll as well. At this point, some kind of organization, perhaps a government involved one, but that is unclear, steps in and detains the doll, somehow knowing it's alive. My personal belief is that this organization is none other than Reynolds' Unidentified Research, though that could easily not be the exact case, given that I don't know why Plaidley or the doll would be putting the name of the organization that detained him in the description each time, unless perhaps that is also the organization that created this doll, perhaps as an experiment to see if they could put a living soul in an inanimate object. Regardless, the doll is kept prisoner and studied. He drives the employees, likely scientists, all mad in different ways. Some die, some don't believe, and one succumbs to the doll's will, likely due to the doll's powers. The doll convinces this one man to set him free, and gets him to take him to a forest trail where he leaves him on a bench. Plaidley, meanwhile, is enjoying his vacation from video creation. He decides it would be nice to take a short hike before he finally gets back to the grind. As he is on his excursion though, he stumbles upon the Garfield doll on the bench where he was left just days before. He approaches it, and is startled to find that it can talk. The doll tells him it's cold. Plaidley takes pity on it, and brings it home. As he attempts to feed the creature, the doll starts to question him. It knows Plaidley could be the one he needs to accomplish its one true goal, so it demands that Plaidley transform his channel into nothing but Garfield. Maybe then people would start to love Garfield again. This doesn't go to plan, however. Nobody watches, and Plaidley gets tired and fed up. He only agreed to this situation out of fear for himself, but more importantly his wife, who doesn't believe the doll is alive. Perhaps this is Plaidley's own fault though, because he told the doll not to speak or move when the woman was around. Plaidley slowly loses his sanity and his composure. He argues over and over with the doll. He just wants to go back to Fortnite, to B-Movie, to Mario Kart. The doll ultimately tries to kill Plaidley, but hesitates, and Plaidley escapes. The doll tries to take matters into its own hands and make the videos itself, but realizes how brutal it is. He needed Plaidley back. He couldn't let him get away next time. Plaidley returns and is again brought back under the will of the doll, But this couldn't be his life. He isn't crazy, and he needed help. But who will help him? Reynolds' unidentified research? Chris Pratt, the new voice of Garfield? I don't know for sure. Obviously Chris Pratt has something to do with this. Maybe the doll is angry at the news of his casting. And then there's the strange way this one video was flipped, and things seem to be going in reverse. What is the significance of that? The answers are out there, and I'm likely missing many pieces. Maybe you yourself can fit this together better than I ever could. Maybe you can unravel this mystery. If you want to see the conclusion, well, you'll just have to go over to Plaidley's channel yourself. The doll is still out there. Maybe you are the only one who can stop it. But that's just a theory. A funny cat theory. April Fools, folks.